Have you ever used glitter on your watercolor flowers or other things you're painting? I just kind of whipped these together for fun before deciding I wanted to share this experience with you. So let me show you what I'm doing. Let me find another scratch paper. Here's just a watercolor paper cut in half, and they'd be perfect for it. So here are some of them. You can still see they're wet, but some of the sparkle is the glitter too. So what I want to show you is just how to do some loose flowers. I think I'm going to use this tin from Fumui. And if you are with the company, please let me know if I've been pronouncing this wrong. So here we go. I've got all my floral colors, some of my favorite florals in my ceramic palette that I pull out when I'm in the mood to do flowers. So I'm going to paint some with you today, and I'm going to start with Quin Gold. And let's just do kind of a feeling as if they're just loose and easy. I might even with the tip just do almost like some kind of movement from it. See what we think about them, just for fun. So these are probably flowers in my magical fairy garden. So they can be any way they want, but they're probably more like, oh, I guess I'm going to call them wild flowers. How about that? Wild flowers can be anything, so that's what I'm going to do. So you'll notice I'm just simply pressing down and then releasing. Let me get a close up from the side and you'll see what in the world I'm doing. So I'm pointing, pressing down, and pulling back. And while it's still fairly wet, I'm going to just shake on a few little glitters, just craft glitters. And this one is made from a company. It says non-toxic. We always like that. While I'm looking, I already sprinkled it. I was going to show you how I sprinkle it, but there you go. Now you know. And I kind of like the way this sprinkled because it all went on one side. Hey, that was clever on my part. Let's do some more while we're in a roll. I think I'm going to do, let's have some Quin Pink into it. I'm going to show you this one from the side. So point, press down, and just release. And since they're wild and free, I'm just adding kind of that fun, whimsical. It's all about whimsical today for me. I was doing a serious painting before, so now I just want to do whimsical. Point, press down, and come back. Make believe little flowers. And you could certainly make them look more realistic and more authentic, but sometimes it's just fun, don't you think, to just be artistic. After all, you could just take a photo of something if you needed it, really. So this time I'm tapping on it. I know I have a shadow. So let me go back to the top view. So there's two of them right there. Let me go in a little bit for you. There you go. And let's see, for the next one, I think I'm going to add some Aussie red gold. Boy, Daniel Smith, do they not have amazing flowers, flower colors, amazing paints? I'm thinking of three things at the same time. Now, you notice I'm really not being a picky person. I'm just kind of playing, figuring out as I go what I kind of like. But the main thing with these flowers is they're free and they're loose and they're magical and whimsical. And sometimes that's what you want to do, isn't it? Come on. So let's do it together. Loosen up and have some fun. And one more little sprinkle or big sprinkle. Now, if your paints dry too quickly, or if you thought of putting glitter on afterwards, one little tip to you is that you can go in and take just a little sprayer. You know, a word about sprayer bottles. I buy these in bulk for my students and myself just to have fun with utilizing the perfect mist. These are perfume atomizers. And I really thought I made this idea up myself, and I was patting my back and really proud about it. And then I saw them on many other people. So either someone else saw it, or maybe we all just thought of brilliant ideas at the same time. Isn't that a thing? I think that is where everybody comes up with something at the same time. But you can certainly spray something. It's going to loosen everything up, so I wouldn't do it too close, but you can spray from afar. The idea, just like salt, when you put salt on a painting, the idea is to do it not too wet, not too dry. You want enough moisture. I don't use glue when I use any kind of just tinsely kind of item. When I add sparkle, whether it's straight out glitter, whether it's a brusho iridescent, if you haven't used this one, ooh, honey, this is a good one. Brusho Sprinkle It. And in fact, hey, you thinking what I'm thinking? Here's a dedicated little brush I use for this. Do I have any wet areas? Maybe a tiny bit over here. You don't need a lot. And just like the title, it is iridescent. So it's going to give you a variety of little shades. And man, do I use this a lot during holiday season. And if you put it on something dry, you certainly can try to make it come alive with that. You can see those kind of trying to appear. But here you go. You could add leaves to it. You could just leave it like this and just have a good time. I was playing around with them before, and I did add leaves. And this one I kept watering and it blurred out, but I still love it. I love just the smeared brightness. Here I did a bunch all over leaves. So far I like this the best, and maybe one of the reasons is I haven't added petals to it, the leaves I should say. So I don't know, I like it. Do you? When it dries, you can shake it off in your wastebasket just gently. I'll do that right now. And then the vast majority of it will be off, but most of it, it'll just stick. And if a tiny bit comes off, it's no different from when you open up your Hallmark cards and decide that you want something that's a little bit glittery, sparkly, and some of it comes off. So there's my little fun playtime. Hope you had fun too. By the way, you can go back in and paint some more if you want, but your brush will get kind of loaded with sparkles. So if I'm adding just a little something in the center here, I'm using kind of an interesting color. It's called Quin Burnt Scarlet, and I really like it. I don't know if it's standing out enough, so I might go to Burnt Sienna with it. But if I do that, I just have to make sure I rinse my brush well, because as you probably know, you'll have glitter for days. If you don't, you'll have glitter in lots and lots of things, because it is going to attach itself to the brush like it is doing right now. Okay, so if you want to add a little center or a little look of a center, I'm going to soften this look. And I think I'm going to make this into more of a dome look too, with my make-believe flowers. Anything goes, but that looks good to me with my eyes. So maybe it does to you too. Hope that was fun. I really am ending now. I promise I won't think of any more before I take off. Take care. Bye-bye.